Bend 3 is a 90-degree bend with a left kick. Use the smallest piece of conduit left over from previous bends. Bend the 90 first and then add left kick. Step 1 is determine stub up height and kick height. Measure from point I to point J to determine stub up height. It is 14 inches. Measure kick height. It is 1.5 inches. Measure from point I to point H. It is 18 inches. The stub up height is 14 inches. Subtract the 6-inch take up from 14 inches. 14 inches minus 6 inches is 8 inches. Mark the conduit at 8 inches from the end. Step 2 is make the stub up bend. Once the stub up mark has been made, insert the bender onto the conduit and place the conduit securely on the floor. Place the arrow on the conduit bender onto the mark. Place one foot on the conduit and the other foot onto the bender foot pedal. Apply equal force with your hands and foot to ensure that the bender does not slip or rise. Continue bending the conduit until the 90-degree marking on the bender is parallel to the conduit. Ensure that the conduit remains in contact with the bender for the entire length of the bend. There should be no gap between the bender and the conduit. Use a level to check the degree of bend. If for some reason the conduit is slightly overbent or underbent, take the handle of the bender and slide it over the top of the conduit to add a little or take out a little bit of bend. After you have completed the bend, position the conduit so that the end is facing up and measure the distance from the floor to the end of the conduit. It should measure approximately 14 inches. Step 3 is measure and bend the left kick to 1.5 inches. From the back of the 90, measure 12 inches and make a mark to bend the left kick. Use a piece of conduit or your bender as a flat surface to measure the distance from the back of the 90. Mark the conduit. As a general rule of thumb, go back at least 2 times the height of your kick. The further back you go to start your kick, the smaller the degree of bend needed to achieve the kick height. The smaller the degree of bend, the easier it will be to pull wire. Step 4 is bend the left kick. Put the arrow on the conduit bender on the mark. Make sure that the left kick is level. Bend left kick to 1.5 inches. If overbent, take some out. To take some out, flip the conduit over and step on it. Point H to point I is 18 inches. Place conduit against conduit board or wall and measure 18 inches from the back of the 90. Cut conduit on mark. Ream conduit. Place conduit into conduit board.